Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, or good whatever. Um, just now leaving the airport, so give me a minute to get situated here. Uh, the video is going to be crap because I'm webcasting in the dark. I'm using the mount that I'm using does not position the phone properly to get a good view of anything. So treat this as an audio. When I'm streaming live mobile, I don't know how to put up a frozen image in place of this since I'm on a smartphone. So this is the best I can do. Now my subject tonight is Trump's pick for the Supreme Court. Now, as everybody knows, I am very anti-Trump. I don't like the politics, so on and so forth. So there's that disclaimer. However, I'm not all that upset at his pick for the Supreme Court. Mainly because it was a foregone conclusion that it was going to be one of 25 and one of 4 in the end. Trump also made clear of his desire to get someone on the court to overturn Roe v. Wade. He made that clear during his candidacy, and in the end, when he became president, he reiterated that he was going to get a judge on the Supreme Court that would overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, chances are very good he's going to get his wish. There's a good possibility, about a 90% chance, that this guy's going to get confirmed. The left and the Democrats are going to piss and moan about it. There's going to be one hell of a battle. There's going to be a lot of money put out there on both sides to A, encourage people not to vote for the guy, and B, for people to vote for the guy. There's at least 2 Democrats that are in red states that may be forced to vote for the guy in order to save their asses. They're in what we call safe seat Democrat in a red state. You know, they're conservative Democrats, and they're going to vote, in order to placate their base. If they don't, I'll be mighty surprised. But I suspect that the Democrats are going to vote to confirm the 2 Republican female senators that are wavering because of the stand on Roe v. Wade. Will probably go ahead and vote for this particular nominee because he's not as extreme as people think. Now, what we have to do when we're trying to figure out how to handle this pick, or how the Democrats should handle it, you need to look about 3 or 4 moves ahead. Think of it as a game of chess. Mitch McConnell knows that the Republicans are likely going to lose in the midterms, that the court is going to swing to the left. That's why he wanted to get a conservative judge on the Supreme Court. Now, in the short term, that might have been a smart move, but not exactly, and here's the reason why. Now, yes, I've seen reports that this new judge might rule in favor when it comes to being exempt from being prosecuted while so on and so forth. But then again, he might not, because putting on that black robe does things to people. You quite, I didn't phrase that right, but you get the drift. Now, Conyers is what is known as a strict constitutionalist. He has a strict interpretation of the Constitution, as well as what's known as settled law. So he's not going to rule for a wholesale overturning of Roe v. Wade. What he is likely going to do is start allowing certain restrictions to be put in place by the individual states, and have any ruling turn back to the individual states. Like if a state decides they want a 3-day waiting period for an abortion, where a woman has to go and watch a video as to what happens when you have an abortion, that state may get an okay to do that. And there might be other restrictions that get put into place that women aren't going to like. Now, Trump has done this in July. Guess what happens now? We have midterms coming up in November. And Trump has stirred up a hornet's nest with this appointment that's going to get a lot of people on the left and in the Democratic Party riled up. And if Democrats know what's good for them, they will get out and they will vote. Now, what they need to hope for is, now that this justice is in there and he's confirmed before the midterms, and it's done without too much of a bit of fanfare from the left. I mean, the left needs to put up a good fight, and there's about 98% of them aren't going to vote for the guy, but 2 or 3, maybe 4 might vote for him, and because of that, he'll get confirmed. So now what can happen is the left can turn around in these red states, or the Democrats in the red states, and in some of the states where the Republicans are in danger of losing their seat, they can press forward and say, see, this is what happens when you don't vote. This is what happens when you elect conservatives in. Now you're going to lose all these rights. And the only way to save your rights is to elect Democrats from the ground up. The reason being is that it's conservatives and Republicans that make the laws that strip away your rights. So you're going to have to elect people in these state legislatures that will protect your rights and not vote to take your rights away. In other words, you're going to have to counter the extremists in both the House and the Senate. And when you do that, and if you do it right, and if you prevail, and the Democrats take over both houses of Congress, as well as the governorships in various states, and the Senate and the Senate and the House of Representatives in the various states, then perhaps you can not only minimize the damage, but prevent damage down the road. Now comes the second half, and this is where Trump didn't think things through. Now, Trump is thinking about Trump. He thinks he's going to get away with all kinds of things. Not so fast. Trump is still going to be damaged when the Mueller report comes out, which could be just before or just after the midterms. Hard to say. I think there's going to be a lot of bits and pieces start coming out. You're going to see Manafort go on trial right at a bad time for Trump. You're going to see Cohen probably sing like a canary soap opera. You're going to see a whole bunch of people start singing. Russia might start looking at the situation and think it's not such a good idea to be backing Trump, because now they're going to wind up with a weak sister as an ally, and Russia just may back off a little bit and let the Trump Titanic sink. That's a possibility. It may not happen. But, so Trump may be a one-term president. I would be surprised as hell if people are stupid enough to vote for this idiot twice. If they do, it's their own funeral. But still, even if you re-elect this nincompoop, there's this to consider. Trump can only serve 2 terms. At the end of the 2 terms, at the end of the second term, if he lasts that long, the United States is going to be in a severe depression. Not just a recession, but a depression, because all this nonsense that he caused is going to kick in. The tariffs are going to have their effects. The deficits are going to have their effects. We're going to have the deregulation of the banks and so forth that was snuck through is going to hit just like it did just before the end of the Bush term. A lot of things are going to happen either just before 2020 or just before 2024. But I think things are going to happen in 2020 that will make Donald Trump a one-term president. The tariffs may start having their damaging effect as early as September, right around Labor Day. It takes a little bit of time for current inventory here in the United States to be used up, and for the inventory coming in from China and the other countries to start sinking into our pocketbooks. We've already started to see some damage from the tariffs. Harley Davidson, not only is Harley Davidson going to probably shift their production overseas, then Trump, having his little temper tantrum, is probably going to retaliate against Harley Davidson even more by either putting extra taxes on Harley Davidson or encouraging competitors to come to the United States, which is going to damage. Oh, dear. What's going on with the turnpike? I take the Florida Turnpike home, and what in the world is going on here? Oh my. Sorry about the interruption. I'm doing this live, and the highway I'm trying to get on has just come to a screeching halt. I think what they're doing is we're going one lane. So, yeah, well. Fun of driving on the road. Now, to get back to what I was talking about, and I'm definitely going to have to redo this webcast. When the tariffs take place and you start seeing like our nail factory and the What a day. I don't know why they're closing all 3 lanes down, but that's the turnpike for you. Yeah, we got a major clusterfuck up here. All right, folks, I'm going to have to, I think I'll be all right. Anyway, this is the trouble with live webcasts. You run into all kinds of situations. All right, what I'm going to do is I've lost my train of thought. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to restart here in a little bit because we got a major traffic jam here, and I really need to concentrate on my driving. So stay tuned. We may come back. We may not. We'll see what happens.